Greetings. Let me get to the next chapter. So, again, I did more than my best to flesh out as much detail as possible, but areas where I'm like, I think it would be better to just show it on a video that someone else made. I will reference that. So, chapter 50. Spring 2013, summer 2013, there was a surprising turn of events. In the month of June 2014, the first day lands on a Sunday. If the couples can schedule the wedding on that day, they can fly. They can fly in the week before. Then they visit the Monterey Bay area for the first week. Finally, they can fly out the following weekend. So several people said they could attend if the wedding occurs on Sunday, June 1st. Also, they could have the reception at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory at neighboring Cannery Row. They even have a gift shop and a kids menu. Each couple can order for themselves, or they can order an entree and share it buffet style. So the surprise guests include Maria, their husband Gavin, their daughter Erin, Kim, Richard, their daughter Ashley, Trey Asach Sr., his wife, their son Trey Jr., Jonathan Sr., videography. He's gonna be the camera person. His wife, their son Jonathan Jr., as well as Erica's younger brother and his partner. That sealed the deal. Lovers Point, Pacific Grove, Chucky's parents will also attend, depending on when they will move into the new gated community in Brisbane, California. At this time, Michael agreed to house Erica's brother and his partners at their duplex. Made sense. They're busy with their ryokan, so taking early vacation late May, early June will give them the one chance to go on vacation. Plus, this will be Enkai's first trip outside Japan. Her brother missed his chance to learn how to drive, so Erica and Michael will have to drive. They'll have to take 2 weeks off from work to give them the proper tour in Monterey Bay. Since they'll be out of town for 2 weeks, Michael's parents agreed to board Halia and Kamali'i during those 2 weeks. Also, by then, their gated community should be ready for move-in. So, the next problem is which song. Because you have to bear in mind, Alex and Chucky are 10 years older than Erica, so we're talking about 2 different generations. Michael is 5 years older than Erica. Devin and Jennifer are about a couple of years older than Erica. So Devin and Jennifer and Erica, they're about the same generation. But Alex and Chucky, it's a decade. So Erica knew that the age difference is a big deal among grammar school students. However, she didn't think that it would rear its ugly head regarding the nuptials. Granted, the music she listens to is from a straight person's perspective, such as Garth Brooks, Shania Twain. So she was open to music from the 1980s from singers for androgynous, such as Culture Club. Then Devin, at some point, Devin played this music video of Aretha Franklin and George Michael singing "I Knew You Were Waiting for Me" together. They did a duet. If I remember, I'll link that song in the description box below. They put to a vote, unanimous. Okay, so that's the song that they're gonna play. Erica and Michael called together. They played George Michael's songs. She was touched. It was obvious that he sang from the heart. When she shared that information with Michael, he nodded. They also listened to music from Luther Vandross. He also sang from the heart. However, his passing in 2005 was too soon, and they needed the nuptials to be positive and bright. So, Luther Vandross, his music is just it touches your heart when you listen to it. So. But yeah, it's amazing. You would think, Aretha Franklin, she's like the queen of soul music. With George Michael, who was more like popular music, soft rock. They wouldn't. Their singing styles are completely different, but when they sang that song together, it was just chef's kiss. So anyway, around this time, Erica resumed putting together the support group. Also, Kim asked to create a support group for people who are children of immigrants. Erica exactly knew why. Granted, she felt that Kim does need to go on her own journey to figure out what went wrong with her parents and younger sister. But as soon as Erica started a subgroup, Chucky blurted out the answer. Chucky's parents took an extra decade before they got married to make certain they're not xenophobic and homophobic. They need to do this just in case one of their children is, yeah. Granted, they never thought that all three of them are. So Kim was confused. Chucky explained if Japan didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, Germany would have won the war and none of us would be here. Kim gasped and covered her mouth. When she regained her composure, she realized that Chucky's telling the truth. Kim surmised either way, most Japanese people had no business immigrating to this country after the war. Erica nodded. So that evening after dinner, Erica and Michael cuddled on the couch. Michael sensed that she was ready to ask her a question. So she asked him whether or not he thought about what would have had to have happened for his life to be better. He immediately shook his head. He said even if he found the right person while he was attending Cal Poly, his marriage would have ended in divorce because his parents would have remained homophobic. So it was Erica who convinced his parents to start their journey to create a non-homophobic straight identity. That was the catalyst he needed to have a successful marriage. She gasped and covered her mouth. When she gained her composure, she realized he was telling the truth. She was in awe, like, oh, okay. So it's not just he has to marry the right person, but that right person has to call his parents out for being homophobic. So, as in previous years, when spring has sprung, the sea urchin harvest was minimal at best. So Chucky, Alex took Erica, Lisa, Michael, and Livia fishing at the public pier. When the seas were calm enough, Alex took his boat out. They fished from the boat. Around this time, Erica did spend some time at the Murphy department store. The washable period mattress pad that she brought with her from her mom. It's been over a decade. It's seen better days. Rather than try to salvage it, she decided to just buy a new one. As was her tradition, she checked out the cloth bag with washable period underwear. She saw that they were selling them in a wide variety of colors and floral designs. Next to it, she saw that they were also selling washable mattress pads. A sales lady explained that the customer just had a baby and was wondering what she could do to prevent, air quotes, accidents. Erica said that was a clever solution to a common problem, so she bought two. That way, when one's being washed, she has a backup. After she paid for it, she accepted the receipt and put it in the room where she stored it with the rest of her income tax documents. When she put one of the mattress pads on her side of the bed, Michael wondered whether or not they can get some for Kamali'i. Granted, she's housebroken, however, it wouldn't hurt to get some for her since, especially when they board her, they can't afford his parents or his cousin to get upset if she has an accident at their home. On the next shopping trip, she suggested to the Murphy Garment Factory. She put in a request at the clinic to start selling washable period mattress pads as well. After they start selling them, she bought some. And gave them to Michael. He immediately put two in the adaptive fitness center with Kamali sets, and he kept the other two at their home and for boarding purposes. On weekends, Michael's father showed up to work on their Japanese-style garden. At this time, Devin started planting additional flowers such as a wide variety of roses and irises. She said that she'll try to use these flowers at the wedding. Otherwise, she'll try to ask a local florist to let her rent their flowers. After the ceremony, she could return to them. Erica suggested letting her take them home. If they refuse, she could use the flowers to decorate the inside of her home. So Devin backpedaled, saying that, oh, it's a wonderful idea. She would get some vases and give them away as gifts for the people for 10. Erica smiled gently. So, speaking of income taxes, early April, Erica and Michael filed their taxes. They were debt-free from wiring money to her uncle for the sale of her father's home, as well as Michael paying his parents back for the student loans he owed. Erica showed that her Roth IRA experienced an increase in over 32% with dividends. He was in awe. He saw that she was well on her way to covering her own retirement expenses. Late April, she resumed her one-woman play about her life as of 2012. Based on feedback, she realizes she still needs more life experience. Also, she needs to put her marriage to Michael more in the forefront and the parents' ongoing journey in the background. She made a mental note to revise her play as soon as she returns from Japan. In May, she took a day off from work, go back to the South Bay, help the scholarship committee choose recipients. On her way home, she stopped by her former landlord, gave him a large box of Hickory Farms. Um, Also, she focused the rest of the month planning her vacation in Japan, Hawaii. This year, June 1st was on a Saturday, so after a full day's work on Friday, May 31st, she finished packing that night. That evening, after Kamali had a full dinner and did her business outside, Michael took her to his cousin, Richard and Kim's home to board her. By then, Ashley's home from the university. She was thrilled to take care of both dogs. Once Erica and Michael checked one last time, they took a long hot bath, did the laundry, and retired. Also, Michael's parents gave the address of their own gated community in Brisbane, California to their son. So on one of their trips to work, Michael drove past the area. They saw the concrete wall with a metal front gate that was already installed. They were currently working on moving trees, flattening the land to put the foundation of the three homes in place. Memorial Day weekend, they had their annual picnic at the gated community. At this time, Peter's niece announced that she's expecting her second baby. Her son Aiden is now 3 years old. Everyone congratulated her and wished her and the family only the very best. Fortunately, unlike her first pregnancy when she had extreme morning sickness that landed her in the hospital for a week, this one was uneventful. Also, in addition to Ashley spending the summer break in Brisbane, California, Trey Sr., his wife, and her son was also in attendance. Around this time, Erica got a new haircut to prepare for a trip to Japan, Hawaii. That summer was eventful. Friday, May 31st, they worked that day. After dinner, they boarded Kamali with his cousin Richard and his wife. Ashley was home for summer break. The next morning, Saturday, June 1st, they drove to San Francisco. After breakfast there, they boarded their 11 plus hour flight to Japan. They arrived in Japan on Monday, June 3rd in the afternoon. From the airport, they took the bus to Tokyo Disneyland. Yes. Haneda International Airport and Tokyo Disneyland is that close together, so it's like a 30-minute ride. From the airport, so after they checked into the hotel, they went to their room to get refreshed. They spent a few days at Tokyo Disneyland. I think there's also Tokyo Disney Sea. I'll link a video in the description box below. This couple, they did an awesome job showing what Disneyland and Disney Sea looks like, and some tips and tricks as well. So take a look at that. When Erica suggested they spend next vacation in Disneyland or Disney World, he was thrilled and said that he'll make plans. Tokyo Disneyland is full of tourists. They erred on the side of caution, reserved public display of affection when they were in the privacy of their own room. However, they were in awe how safe it was inside the resort. Back in San Francisco, even though they can they're free to express their feelings for each other, they constantly have to check each other's back. Public safety officers can't be at every street corner to make sure that everyone stays safe. They made sure to not take safety for granted. For Michael, his favorite part of the stay was the non-scary ride. He especially loved It's a Small World ride, with famous song was sung in Japanese. For Erica, she loved the gardens throughout the park. She made certain to bring the digital camera, her digital camera with an extra memory card to take as many photographs as possible. Although she understands some Japanese, Michael did most of the communicating with the staff. Since she was brought up to be frugal and it concerned him, she made certain to put him in charge of finances. So much to her quiet relief, he only bought stuff that can only be bought at Tokyo Disney. In preparation for the nighttime fireworks show at Cinderella's castle, both of them bought a seat cushion and wrapped it with a plastic bag. They also brought plastic ponchos just in case it rains outside. That way they can sit on the ground without dirtying their clothes and the cushion. The final day, she picked up the store that had the refrigerator Mac she liked the best and bought it. Michael also bought some stationery for Ashley as well. They stayed in Tokyo Monday through Wednesday. Wednesday, they checked in a hotel near the airport. They spent the next 2 days in Tokyo. Then they went to a fancy grocery store and brought some gifts for her family. First thing Friday morning, they went to the domestic terminal, checked in. Erica called her uncle. Upon landing at the airport near her grandmother's fishing village, they met her uncle at the luggage claim. Then he took public transportation to the fishing village. After they checked in with her brother and his partners, Ryokan, she helped her aunts prepare lunch. At this time, she gave her family gifts from Tokyo. Also, her uncle used his downtime to update her information about her family. When they arrived, November 2011, bear in mind this is when your grandmother passed away. They were going to tell her that some of her father's mother's extended family perished in the Tohoku earthquake a few years earlier. Both of her paternal grandparents passed away. She gasped to cover her mouth. Also, her father is spending the next couple of years learning how to be his own housekeeper. When he graduates, her parents will remarry. However, they will live in separate households. At this time, Erica thanked them for all the information, all of his hard work. Again, she reiterated her desire to pay for the inconvenience and cost. He nodded. After lunch, Erica and Michael went to the family gravesite. When they took out their prayer beads, they put it on their hands, prayed for all four of her grandparents and their extended family who perished in the earthquake. Actually, it wasn't the earthquake that they perished in, it was the tsunami. Because the earthquake, everybody survived. Most people survived. It's the 30-foot ocean waves that caused a lot of people to lose their lives and their livelihoods. So they spent the weekend at the fishing village. When their uncle asked volunteers to get some fish and sea urchin, Erica and Michael volunteered. At this time, Erica knows that some of her brother's pottery customers actually drove to this village to pick up their order. She was in awe. Granted, the airfare transportation is much more than shipping and handling. However, it did prove that they were serious about ordering pottery from him. Plus, since he was born in the state, he did a much better job at customer service when he could see the customers' faces. At this time, Erica did their laundry in the community laundry room. On Monday morning after breakfast, they kept the big suitcases at the village. Then they took public transportation to Kyoto, where Michael focused more on shrines and temples. Erica focused more on the gardens and the Ikebana Museum. She took as many photos as she could. They were in awe of how traditional Japan and modern Japan blend well in this part of the world. They also made certain to eat food that is only found in Kyoto as well. At the end of the trip, Erica went back to the store that had their most favorite refrigerator magnet and bought it. Michael also bought some food from a fancy grocery store to give to her family. Friday afternoon, they took public transportation to return to the fishing village. And then at the village, he gave them the food that he had bought. That weekend, Erica and Michael went fishing with her uncle, helped her aunts prepare meals. Sunday evening, her aunt gave her a cloth bag with washable period underwear and some tokohon. The following morning, her uncle escorted them back to the domestic airport. At this time, they let them know that they won't visit Japan the following year due to the California-themed wedding. When they arrived at the international airports in Japan and Hawaii, he called her uncle and spent the week in Hawaii. Since they stayed on the main island, his relatives met him at the airport. He used this opportunity to talk about their California wedding the following year and see if anyone else is interested in attending. Erica also used this time to walk around the airport. When she saw that they had a garden downstairs, she went there and took some photos. After they left the airport, she spent a week sightseeing the main island. As was her tradition, she made certain to have one homemade pina colada at the end of the week. She returned to the airport, fly back to San Francisco. She called her uncle to update him on where she's at. After they went to the luggage counter, Michael drove them back to Brisbane. They went to pick up Kamali'i. Michael gave Ashley a gift from Tokyo Disneyland. It was stationery. When she asked her parents if she can go after she graduates, they nodded. She's school with delight. Erica and Michael spent the final week in June having a staycation. They also attended the tail end of Pride events. Erica used this time to go over her stuff. Once she gathered together the stuff she doesn't need, she donated them in terms of clothing. She gave her hand-me-downs to Devin, and they went to Macy's to get her summer outfits. After Erica printed out the photos from her trip to Tokyo and Kyoto, she put her refrigerator magnets on the fridge in the kitchen. At this time, she asked Michael about adding some more plants inside their home. He picked up what she was putting down. He offered to have his father put them together since he has an eye for plants. When she nodded, he breathed a sigh of relief. Monday, June 1st, they returned to work at the clinic. You can see the reason why. New Year's Day, they went to Chucky's parents' home. They saw so many plants pepper throughout their home. That's why she was, and plus she went to Tokyo Disneyland. She sees all those gardens. They went to Kyoto. She saw all those gardens, and so now it's just like, oh yeah, I need to put more plants in the house. So Monday, July 1st, they returned to work at the clinic. Ashley was interning with their marriage, family, child counselor. Studio Trey Jr. was interning with his father, who is their IT consultant. Erica talked with Lucas about turning her one-woman play into a feature-length film. She included updating the parent situation. Much to her relief, he gave her the green light. They will start filming next summer, and they will include footage from her wedding in Pacific Grove. During the first 2 weeks, Erica, Jamie, Kim, Sophia had weekly meetings to go over what they can and cannot discuss during their health education classes at local schools. Mid-July, mid-August, Kim, Richard, and Ashley went on vacation. At this time, they boarded Halia with Kim and Richard. They boarded Halia with Michael. At this time, Erica and Jamie continued discussing the curriculum. In terms of the studio, Erica ramped up revising her play to a feature-length film. She had the information that she had gained over the summer. She had private lessons with dance therapy, music therapy instructors. She worked into the script of A Dance of Healing, as well as her own original Song of Healing. On evenings, weekends, and holidays, Erica practiced in front of Michael and got his constructive feedback as well. Mid-August, Ashley, Kim, Richard returned in time to send Ashley back to university in the South Bay. Fun 2 weeks in August went by quickly. Before she knew it hit her, it was Labor Day weekend, and she knew who would call her on her cell phone. Any questions, comments, constructive criticisms, let me know, and I shall see you next time. Take care.